Okay, just a quick update. Let's see. It's been about a month and a half since my last post. I've been in Africa doing a hiking trip and fishing in Alaska, so I got some catching up to do. I will feed these colonies a bit, but it's pretty much done. I'm pretty sure they're to wait. I'll give them a quick heft test to see. The one over here still has a top entrance, so I'm going to plug that up so the bees can concentrate the heat downwards. And that one has two boxes, two deeps, and I guess a medium, which is way more than I usually do. It's been a very, very busy year for me, summer especially. So I'll have a look at what the honey situation looks in that top box, and I may knock those bees down into the double. But the third box in this colony here is actually a feeder, and this medium here is a feeder, so not too worried about that. One of the other things I'll do today is I'll just push them together, just to basically completely fill this gap. Just push them together so they start sharing sidewalls. We did have -5 this morning, but it's 17°C right now, so it's not too bad. But yeah, the goal is to have a look, and you can see from the profile here a lot more bees here than here. It has to do with the volume and that top entrance, so it does change the heat dynamics and different things. So, and I guess the other thing here is I brought some bubble foil wrap and some styrofoam to basically plug up the screen bottom board on that, which I usually do way before now, but it is what it is. Bees seem to be doing fine, so it's a time to get them into winter mode. So that's the thing. So I'll just give it a quick heft test and have a look. That's not too bad. These are 9s. Yeah, this one here is impossible to lift, and this one's impossible to lift. So this one's a bit light, but it is fewer frames. So I guess the goal, I'll just expand it, is to give them a bit more feed and basically potentially consolidate them, that end colony. Okay, so colonies are together. I added a bit of feed on each one. Notice I plugged the screen bottom board here, so I wedged some bubble foil wrap, folded it front back just to plug that cavity. It'll go in the winter like that. I put a wax ball in the top entrance, and some folks are asking about winter prep. Winter prep is easy. Just make sure it's heavy enough and manage the volume. So if the issue here is I had a queen failure here, so I had to merge it with another colony, and there was just so many bees, so I actually left the medium on as a gap. In hindsight, yeah, you take it out, but the amount of time I had, you just do what you have to do. Chances are they'll be fine. Next week when I come back, I'll pull the feeders and I'll put on the top insulation. So I'll put a deep box with at least 6 inches of styrofoam with my insert for feeding pollen patties in the late winter. And then when I come back from a work trip, middle of October, I'll wrap them with bubble foil wrap, and then put a 2-inch styrofoam in the back, and then put that piece of plywood in the back, and just basically give them some protection on 3 walls. So that's that. Pulling the feeders ain't too bad. I'll wait for a cold day. They'll be clustered, and basically it's bang bang bang. Takes about a minute per colony to set up. The other thing to remember too is as the season goes on, I take honey frames from the middle box or the top box, Especially if it's a single or a double, then I move them down to the bottom box. So that way the bottom box gets filled fairly early. By July, early July, it's already full of honey. And then I make sure that this yard here will be going through all doubles, which is not my typical wintering, but basically this yard here struggled queen wise, so I had to do some mergers. And then because the populations rebounded fairly quick, I had no time to consolidate. So anyways, it'll be fine. So I move honey down as the season goes on, so that the bottom box is mostly at least a good 4, 5, 6 frames of honey, and then the middle is brood nest. And then right now the top, when I checked about, it would have been how long ago? Quite a while ago. The top box had maybe 4 frames of brood last week, 5 frames when I checked before going on my hike. So there's still a lot of bees to hatch out, hence the reason I added some feed. And those bees on top there are struggling to get in. They'll figure it out as it gets cooler. They'll just migrate down to the bottom entrance there. But anyways, that's my setup. Don't really have to do much. Just manage volume and make sure it's heavy. And like I say, I never take honey from the brood boxes or the boxes that'll be overwintering. And other than this green box, I haven't pulled a frame in any of these boxes in at least a month and a half. So I try not to mess with the nest too late in the season. This was just to do a brood check. But that's that. Cheers.